Yeah. Boy, we got some stuff to tackle today, boys and girls. What is going on with Defiance? And from what I can tell, it's not necessarily even anything bad beyond what we've already discussed. But it's time to discuss cross-platform account transfers. Do they exist? I hate videos that do that. Is this, and the big question marks? I'm telling you they do exist. I'm coming right on out to tell you about it. And we're going to tell you about it right now. They do exist. I was blown away. But was this a fluke? Or is this something that other people are also experiencing? See, that's what I don't know. And from what I can tell, there's not anybody else experiencing this. I'm looking around online trying to find other people that have talked about this, and I'm just finding more of the same questions being asked about things, but nobody's talking about this. Some people are asking about it, but there's no answers. Well, tonight I'm bringing you answers. It happened. Now, I had to figure out what it was going to take to get my stuff to transfer over from 360 to my Xbox One account. That was my major concern. Come to find out, it wasn't even that much stuff, but it was a lot of stuff. It was stuff that I had earned through achievements and trials and stuff like that that I sure wouldn't want to have to do again, even though ironically we are still going to have to do it again because all the game progress is reset. You're essentially starting a new game. The cars, outfits, titles, stuff like that is here. And some of my cool cars I was very glad to get back. Let's go take care of this arc ball first, and then we're going to keep talking. But anyway, you go to the shop tab. You go to where you would claim items. Oh, it disappeared. I guess it's over. And that's where your stuff was. You just had to claim it as if you had bought it or earned it. But it doesn't just show up on your account. But the good news is that's pretty simple to do, right? I mean, you don't have to go anywhere and download your stuff or put in an email or go to anything all outside of the game to get it done. So that's nice. It's just not as much stuff as we hoped actually would transfer. But again, it's whatever.
Look out, it's an ambush.
I wanted to play on PS4 too, simply because this game's free to play. That's the most important thing to note. And I know that there are friends of mine that'll probably want to give it a shot. Not all of them are going to do Xbox. All of them are going to do PS4. Doesn't hurt to be on both sides of it. But when I go on PS4 and I start a new game, I'm surprised I even looked. Oh, that's right, I'm a different class on this one. I forgot. I'm sitting here trying to heal myself and I can't. Whoa, thank goodness there's no fall damage. But all my stuff's there, right? It's in the claim. We are joined by Blaze Overclock. Welcome, Blaze. But yeah, all my stuff's in the claim there, right? And I'm flipping because it's like, that's not possible. Is it? It is. And I'm going to tell you why. And it's in a way that actually has nothing to do with this game. But it proves that this is possible. We're going to talk more about this. I want to know, though, from you, the viewer, especially all of you that are watching this after it's live. I want you to go in the comments. First of all, I want you to like this video, and I want you to subscribe to the Emceemur Show, because you know I love having you around, love having you along for the ride, love having talks with you about these kinds of things. But I want to know your experiences. Has anybody else come off of Xbox 360 to a PS4 and you found your stuff there when you logged in? I really want to know that. And even more so, I want to know if you come off of PS3 to an Xbox One, which I can't fathom. But somebody out there's done it, you know. Did you have a similar experience? Were you able to claim your stuff? I want to know. So anyway, I was able to. I had all the same things on PS4 that I had from the 360. And this was after, mind you, this is important to note, after it transferred to Xbox One. So I've double dipped. I've got it on both. We're joined by DOA Hitman. Welcome, DOA. You're just in time to talk about cross-platform account transfers. So it blew my mind, but only so much. And I'm going to tell you why. This is not the first time this thing has happened. And Sony's had a lot of heat recently in the press about Fortnite and locking down accounts. And, you know, they don't want to play nice with others. They've made it quite clear that they're not interested in any cross-platform anything. And that's fine. I'm not here to condemn that, good, bad, or indifferent. But back in the day, when Call of Duty Ghosts was a thing, whether it was good or not, it was a thing. I played it originally on Xbox 360, right? I didn't buy the Xbox One right away. I just didn't want to. And eventually, you know, I got to where we had Xbox One, we had PS4, and I would have bought it again on Xbox One, but there was a deal on Amazon. They had a bunch of the Prestige editions, you know, just marked down to nothing, that came with the Season Pass. You know, I wanted all the maps for it. $15 shipped. Great. So yeah, I'm not going to have my Xbox account or any of the levels I had, but I'm going to get all the content. And, you know, what's one Prestige to get back to where we were? We didn't play very much of Ghosts anyway because of it being cross-gen and my clan leaving me for Xbox One. So anyway, long story short, you never get that with me. I got my PS4 Ghosts. I put it in. I sign in. And you remember Call of Duty Ghosts had squads. You had squads of characters. Then you named them and you customized them. And that was kind of a thing unique to that. So anyway, I go into my squads. And yeah, it's all new. But the one guy I was starting with was a character from my Xbox 360 game. It was him. Fully customized with his name, which was something goofy. I don't even remember what it was right offhand, but it was unique enough to know that was him. It transferred. How did it do that? I mean, there was never even talk of any cross anything, you know, cross-gen, other than the fact that if you logged in on an Xbox One from Xbox 360, you still got your same Activision COD account, but that's always been that way. That's nothing new. To come on PS4 and see there was data from an Xbox console under my account. How is that possible? Well, we know how it's possible. It just tells you that all this cross-platform stuff is literally that easy to do. And in this instance, they accidentally let it happen. And I'm afraid that's what's happened here. Regardless of the fact that it's a desired effect or a desired outcome or a convenience, it wasn't supposed to happen.
Let's collect that information.
That's my theory anyway. Now, with your help, you the viewer, maybe we can get to the bottom of this mystery. Trying to get help on a Trion forum or anything like that is like trying to pull Crocodile's teeth out his asshole. It just doesn't happen, but you know, in the infancy of this game, to be fair, they were very supportive, and I have gotten help from Trion support before. A lot better than a lot of other companies I could name. But still, they've got so many people to attend to. I can't wait around for the answers I'm trying to get.
There's an arcfall in the vicinity.
I'd like to try to decipher this myself anyway, because it's just so dag-blasted interesting. Again, with all the heat that Sony's under for not playing nice with others, then here I come on here to this game, and all my stuff's on here. So how is that? And again, this isn't stuff that you just got, everybody got. It's a lot of stuff. It's my stuff from my 360 account. Some of it is pre-order bonus stuff that you got if you pre-ordered it at GameStop at the time it came out. So I know this is, you know, this is stuff specific to my account, and it was exactly the same stuff that transferred to my Xbox One account when I started on it originally. So this is just wild, man. CM Retro is here. Welcome, CM. But again, this has happened before. With the ghost story I just told you. I mean, that happened. And I wonder if anybody's had that happen before. Have you ever come off of a last-gen console Call of Duty to a cross-gen one and had some of your stuff show up on another console, from Xbox to Sony or from Sony to Xbox? It shouldn't happen by the numbers. By and large, that should be an impossibility. Something just unheard of. Another big question to ask here is, if somebody wants to have these same results that I have lucked out and had here, if I even lucked out, how can we hope to make that happen? And I don't have the answer to that just yet either, other than hoping that, you know, I can tell you some of the things that I did that may be at least variables or a lack thereof in this experiment. You know me, I'm Emceemur. Alright? I'm Emceemur everywhere. I'm Emceemur in Nintendo. I'm Emceemur in Sony. I'm Emceemur everywhere. But that shouldn't have anything to do with it. Your gamer tag on a console doesn't have anything to do with your Trion Worlds account, whatever email said PSN or gamer tag is tied to. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I mean, for all practical purposes, your title is cosmetic. That shouldn't have anything to do with it. But again, just ironing out the variables here, I'm the same thing everywhere. And I'm the same email everywhere too. So it's hard to find where the link is. But you can think that if you were going to try the same experiment, and your PSN and your Xbox ID gamer tag, you know, are linked to 2 different emails and 2 different names, well, then we have variables there. And if it still happens for you, then cool. If it doesn't, then we still have to wonder what's the variable there. What made it not happen for you, but it did happen for me. Just stuff we got to look at there. Stuff we got to look at. I think it's as interesting as the day is long. Again, just because of all the crap, again, you know, coming out about, oh, you can't do this on here because Sony doesn't want to let you do that. Just kind of neat. DOA Hitman asks, who won the magazine thing? That was Mr. Game Over 86. And he should be receiving his first issue of Old School Gamer magazine. The August issue should be coming off the press any second now, if it hadn't already. I haven't got mine yet, but, I mean, it's not August yet either, so it's coming. But yeah, he won. He's an interesting guy. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's been a really fun person to network with, and he has a really neat attitude about things. He goes off the deep end and rants and raves and does it in a natural format. He's not putting on. He's really genuinely an interesting person to listen to, you know, his take on things. Cool dude. But my best wishes for everybody that competed in that contest and in future giveaways that we will have here on the show, because that's something that we do right here on the Emceemur show. And especially when I get out in the wild and start hunting again, we're going to have some neat Mur crates to give away in the future, as well as hopefully some other prizes too, depending on, you know, what all we get involved with down the line. Big things here, big things happening. But again, I'm so interested to find out what other people are experiencing in their account transfers. Because I'm going to tell you, for the most part, what I'm seeing people experience is that they're not getting anything. I mean, obviously, when you look up, you know, problem solving or, you know, quick fix solutions or stuff about those topics, the first thing you're going to see is posts from the people like, please help me, I can't get any of this to work. But what I'm not seeing, though, and you would normally see, is if it's, especially if it's this easy, is people coming up, bringing up the rear saying, nah, dude, it's like this. You just do that and there's nothing to it. And I try to do that when it's convenient. But I'm not seeing that. I'm just having, a lot of people are saying just nothing transferred. And they either don't know what to look for, or they don't know where to look, or nothing really transferred. Now, I had some people tell me that a few things did, but most of it completely didn't. And there's a list on Trion's site, and I should have put it in the description of this video, and I will add it later on. It was in our last one on the Xbox One gameplay that tells you a link to go in their forum to see categorically and itemized what items, excuse me, I just had some White Castle burgers, transferred and which ones did not. So that's important to know, because if you go in there looking for everything, you're not going to see everything. And there were things that were on that list that should have transferred for me that did not. So it was not a perfect transfer. We're joined by Optimus Ponder. Welcome, Optimus, to our Tuesday night live stream. PS4, playing some Defiance and talking about cross-platform transfers. I think the most important thing to take away from all this is when we go into bigger games, because obviously this is not as big as Fortnite, and while I'm not big into Fortnite at all, but we got to talk about games that are on different platforms that are big, where cross-platform could mean such a big difference. And it's possible. It's so possible that it frickin' happens by accident. That's what we're hypothesizing right now. So they actually have to go out of their way to make sure it doesn't happen. They're arguably working harder to make sure you can't play cross-platform than they would actually work just to let you. It just widens the community. I mean, each system has its fanboys, and they're not going anywhere. You're not losing any business doing that, I don't think. Now, I can see if they wanted people, you know, the deal with Fortnite and the Switch was a little different because that was going to go portable. They probably stood to lose a little business there. They don't want you going and buying your microtransactions over in Nintendo Town. I kind of get that. I'm not downing Sony. I understand business. I know what they're doing, but something like this, though, you are where you are. You know, there's no advantage to playing this on one console or another. So you are where you are. Likely, if you started on one, you're going to start on another. You know, PS3 to PS4, Xbox 360 to Xbox One, and you'll go from there. So it just allows the community to be larger, which honestly, that helps the longevity of this thing. We're joined by Mr. Tight White. Welcome, TW. Great to see you, sir. You are fantastic. The longevity, because you know you gotta give Defiance some serious credit right now. I'm gonna tell you why. Because this on last gen has stayed alive through new consoles coming out, and we forget, at least I do, I forget how long we've been on Xbox One and PS4. It's been a long time. It's been years now. And that's why I'm like, no, I'm not ready for freaking Xbox 2s and PS5s or whatever the hell. People can make a valid argument that maybe it's time because we've been on these longer than we think we have. Defiance has survived all of that, and it has survived with a totally manageable customer base, player base, community. It's there. Not as big as it was originally, although I see a huge resurgence in it just now, and the beta especially, how huge that was, really drove home, you know, how much was going on. But it's survived. We are joined by Yokese, is that right? Yo soy level 797? Well, I am nowhere near that, but that's a big number. See, that's what I mean. We got people playing this really hard. Good on you, man. Putting that time in there. I really want to get my characters built up on this and spend some time with it. It's such a fun MMO.
Let's go.
But, yeah, I'm going to tell you, it's an amazing thing that Defiance has done, hanging in there that long. There's a lot of games that are dying right now. We got a guy that sometimes comes in our live streams by the name of Bullwinkle. You may have seen him in some of our chats. He plays Crysis 3 exclusively, and he streams Crysis 3 content. A game that I really love, but almost failed to launch. And not for any reason other than it's just not Call of Duty. You know, it just doesn't have as big of a community. It just wasn't sustainable. And he was telling me recently that they're about to shut down the servers on that permanently. That there's like maybe 25, 15 people worldwide that still play it. But they play it religiously, and it's still... And I think that's great, but it's just like, man, I hate to see it go. It's a quality game. But it was a quality game. It wasn't an MMO, you know, and it's gone. It's dead. Defiance surviving defies all logic. It's nuts. Not that it shouldn't, that doesn't have the quality of staying power, but that just usually doesn't happen. Even the greatest games out there eventually can go dead, and that just happens. I do have some questions about the functionality on the servers. This one arcfall just keeps respawning right here in the same place every time. It's really strange. There's just some strange behaviors that I'm sure are procedural and have to be ironed out, you know, server side or on, you know, Trion's end, and I believe that they will do that. Trion is a company that really, really works on their stuff and continues to add new things in. Pretty much at no cost to you. You'll check back in with this game and there'll be new things. Philip Stafford has joined us. Welcome, Phil. Great to have you on Tuesday night live stream. All multiplayer, multiplat should have cross-play with everything. Yeah, I mean, if it doesn't affect their interest in, like, you know, players going somewhere else to play, which and this is a perfect example where it wouldn't. Yeah, there's no reason not to allow it other than just being kind of ridiculous about it. It just builds up the community, and I think I digressed a little too far from my original point. That would help sustain this game even longer. It's amazing that it survived long enough to even have current gen existence. You know, I actually just Googled it on a whim to see if it was ever going to exist, knowing it wouldn't, and there it was, the plans to do it. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, Trion. This is like the best thing ever. Hats off. Yeah, man. That's what's up. That's what makes this stuff survive.
Incoming arcfall. I have high hopes for this. But
Community.
Let's be careful.
And you're talking about something major
Get ready.
that can add to it.
A reaction within that crystal is growing out of
But I
control.
think we've pretty
Stay
much
clear of
talked
it.
all we can about that.
You're pretty good at this, huh?
I just really wanted to discuss that tonight, and it's probably a podcast topic, and it's something we'll probably discuss on a future podcast as well. Why not discuss it while we play? And for some of the people out there still looking for how to transfer their stuff or whatever, I would like them to be able to get that information here. Glad to help out anybody, and I have helped out people. A lot of people have asked questions, you know, like, hey, what do I do? What am I doing wrong? And there's not much to it, but there could be bugs on their end that's keeping them from seeing what it is they need to see. So the store right here, claim items. This is the tab. Now, I don't have anything. I've already claimed my stuff, but this is where you would get your stuff once you've logged in. Of course, once a bioman interrupts you, or two of them, it might be hard to look at it, but a well-placed grenade may help with that, unless you are late to the party because you were in a menu and you eat it hardcore. I'm not going to extract. Finish the turds off. Burger King! He wants some Burger King is what the problem is. Badoosh! Yeah. Dude, have a seat. How weak is this shotgun? It's a sniper rifle for what that's worth. Hey, look at me. Look at me being a team player. I'm taking hits just to get you up, homeboy. That's the Emceemur difference. Such a great game. I really want to see this succeed.
Nice job.
You eat the pals walking around. Whoosh! Oh, you can't shoot the pals anymore? Huh. In the old game, they actually had a power meter. You could blow them up. Let's take a look at the map. Oh, that's a good one. Well, let's finish the mission that we're on. Oh, no, those are missions. We already completed that. Let's go over here. Let's get the car out. If time permits tonight, I'd like to get on the Retron 77 and do some Atari. Really torn on which to do tonight, because both are really hot topics in this game room right now. What's going on with Defiance, and what's going on with some Retron 77 functionality. That's kind of all over the board. And we have so many Atari games that I want to try on it that, you know, may or may not be compatible. But some really cool stuff I want to play that's just been sitting there on the shelf. Why am I turning around now? Where do they want me to go? Oh, they want me to go up there. Oh, well, I can't do that from here. Phil says he's shocked they haven't fixed the transfer system. I think they don't know how to. That's not an excuse either. I'm not excusing them. I'm just saying from what I'm reading in the forums and what I'm reading that they've told people in response as support, you know, some of them, they just said there's nothing else we can do at this point. You know, there's only so much they can try, I guess. And again, that's not an excuse, but it's a reality, I guess, of it, that if people's, you know, transfer over was botched, you know, I would think they could beam some of those items down to them. I don't know. Oh, come on now. Don't knock. I tried so hard to get up here. Don't knock me off. I had a really cool pink buggy that didn't transfer over. Yeah, and it was pink. Not my first choice of colors, but got a good deal on it. It was a cool car. Now I don't have it, so I prefer the four-wheelers anyway, but I really need to change to that. I just pulled this one out because I forgot what it looked like. Just looking at all the stuff I have, then again, I know these aren't stock on the game. So, Oh man, well, that'd be a fun little mission to do there, but if we don't hurry, we're not going to get to this art fall. We got ways to go, buddy. The Retron may have to happen another night this week. We're so backed up on production here at the show because we've got so many series, so many irons in the fire. We're doing our video game prices in the 90s, and today I think everybody's having fun with that. I know I am. And there's a few new series afoot that are coming our way. One, Optimus Ponder actually gave me the idea for, and I don't even think he meant to do it. He doesn't even know he did it yet. Sometimes I feed off you people in a way that, not like I'm taking your idea, but like you say a word and a word association happens and you trigger something in my mind. It used to happen in the band all the time, you know. My drummer, my bass player, or just a listener would say something in the studio and it'd be like, what did you just say? And next thing I know, I've got this idea, you know, this thing just comes out. And it's like, wow, oh my God, do you know what you just did? Oh, I like to destroy the crystal ones. These are cool. But you gave me an idea. Like I needed an idea for another series at this point, but I've got one. So more stuff coming your way. Can't wait. If I just had infinite time, it would be nutty the amount of content that I could bring you. What is this? Grenade launcher or something? Striker DMG. Yeah, get some of that there, big boy. Some of that. We started a little earlier tonight due to some scheduling conflicts here at the house. I'm a dad first and a tuber second, so gotta do what we can do.
Detecting more 99ers on their way.
99ers. That was something I would have liked to have seen come to light in the actual TV show that obviously was canceled before they were able to do anything with anything else story-wise, but the 99ers kind of had a cool backstory to them.
There's an advanced weapon nearby. We should put it to good use.
Oh, is there now? Now, where would that be? Pour up.
That looks useful. I've spotted some advanced weaponry. That weapon should help shatter the crystal.
Well, I was trying to pick it up. Phil says there's an easy way to find time. Don't sleep. Sleep is overrated. There was a time when I thought that, but that time is not after having our second born and going through the whole new baby thing again. Sleep is pretty awesome to me right now. I can't get enough of it. But no, you're right. You know, you pretty much have to burn the candle at both ends. That's your only option at that point. And I've done that. I mean, I don't think my upload went up with the last video last night till like 2 in the morning. But I was late on it, and that's my commitment to you.
Let's go.
First, let's check out the map. Let's see, look at this. We got more action in town.
Looks like the Hellbugs found us.
We can go over here, can't we? Need to take a left turn at Albuquerque here. Warunka. Man, I could get out and run faster than this thing, I think. God, I'm so hooked on this game. I could just stay on it. So much going on right now with Octopath Traveler. We got Toho Genso Wanderer Reloaded that we reviewed last week. Still playing the hell out of that. We just got an achievement for driving a long way. I just got my car blown up. Not cool. Trying to drive here. Can I hop on? No. Can I get in? No. I don't know if they took that out. You used to be able to hop in with people and go somewhere. That may not be the case now. But my car's cooled down, so let's get in it. Man, we got a long way to go.
Someone wants you to join their group. Grouping allows you to better monitor the status of group members.
Someone wants you to join their group. Okay, well, they've still done that. Although, right now, I cannot make that commitment. But it's nice to see the community live and well. We are nearing our destination. Not nearly fast enough for my liking, but we are. So Banner Saga, yeah, that's actually a topic for our podcast coming up as well, believe it or not. Not necessarily the saga itself, but the formats in which it's being released and some of the pricing and issues from system to system. We're seeing some inconsistencies there. But the problem being is I got Banner Saga 2 free on Xbox One. And it totally looks like my kind of game. And oh my god, he landed on the lamppost. That was awesome. I believe we missed the arc fall. Poop on a bun. But we're having the issue right now that if you want it on the Switch, which I would, the trilogy that is, it's coming out and it's $10 more, and I need to look back again in my notes, but I believe it's coming out after the PS4 copy. I don't think it comes out on the same day. I could be wrong about that. I'm not wrong about the price. It's more expensive. And at a certain point, I mean, okay, you need to upcharge because it's a cartridge. Whatever. In some cases, that's okay for portability. In this case, you could even argue that it is, but it's harder here. Because again, I already got the second game free. Haven't even had time to touch it yet. It's hard to justify buying a trilogy for 40 bucks when I could get it with discounts for just over 20 for the PS4, and then definitely be getting it on time. I gotta wonder how sustainable Nintendo is gonna end up being if they continue to do this in situations where it's just not warranted. They did this with, God, what was that game? Battle Chasers? What was the name of it? I think that was the name of it. RPG. I mean, they were like a year late coming out with it and still wanted $10 more for it. The problem being the game had already flopped because it had already been out on PS4 for a while. It didn't really flop. It wasn't a bad game. It just didn't really get it. It was a budget title in the way it was priced, not necessarily in the way it was made. And there was just no call to have it at full retail, let alone $10 over that at that point, because they were so late coming out with it at that point. So yeah, Banner Saga is the next on that wagon that fits into that criteria of a game being released in a situation like that. And it just boggles the mind. How well is that really going to sell? I found the price on Amazon. And my grenade has not cooled down yet. Oh, Jesus! Oh, Jesus! Man, not being able to heal. That's a drag, man. Well, he's pretty camouflaged in there, isn't he? Alright, there's an arc fall over here. Let's go get it. Is this the same one that we always go to? It is, isn't it? I swear it is.
Arcfall. Let's go earn some script. But let's also stay alive to spend it.
It is. Well, Optimus is lurking. That's really not it for tonight. I think we've got time to do our double header. I would like to look at the Retron tonight some. But that's what I wanted to cover on this tonight. I could play this for the next 48 years. But I wanted to talk about the cross-platform issue. I wanted to talk about the fact that we'd seen it before with Call of Duty Ghost, a similar situation. The fact that it can happen, but is it happening accidentally? What can you expect? And when you've seen the results on your end, share them with me in the comments. I'm genuinely interested to know, was this a fluke? Is this how it was supposed to be? Which I doubt. Or if you were able to make it happen a certain way and how other people can achieve those same results. You know, I'd be interested to know that. I'm sure they would too. Everybody wants to enjoy this thing at least as close to the level they originally did as possible. So I'm going to sign off for now, but we're going to get ready to do the Retron stream coming up. That'll be going live a little later on in the evening. And I'm going to check for some Atari compatibility and see if that thing's all it's cracked up to be. Philip says, how much is the physical of the trilogy? I believe they had it at $39 and it was $29 on the other systems. The non-Switch systems was what it said. It's always $10 more with them. It's crazy. But yeah, we're going to get set up to go live on some real retro stuff, but we had to talk about Defiance tonight because this is really weighing on my mind, and it really blew my mind when I saw that stuff on the PS4 side after having played on Xbox 360. Again, if you're still in here, or if you have not already done so, if you can drop a like, and if you have not already done so, if you can subscribe to the Emceemur show, because you know that I love having you guys along for the ride. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you're always first to know about the fresh, hot, steamy material as soon as it comes out. It's ready for you to enjoy live right here on the channel. Always a good time. Great stuff, more great stuff coming your way. Emceemur signing off for now. We'll see you in the streams shortly enough. Kill!